Everyone, good evening and good afternoon, depending where you are, again on this global online platform. I am Alina Lehikoinen, and I am the co-head of IFSA YFPD task force. So I have been doing this project with my IFSA and Forest Europe colleagues for almost a year now, and a warm welcome from my side. Most of you already know what IFSA is. I said it shortly yesterday, and many of you are already members or maybe know IFSA for other reasons. But very shortly, IFSA is a globally organized and locally operating student organization, and we connect forestry students to their peers and forest-related organizations on policy platforms. Which already brings us to a bit to why are we doing this YFPD altogether? So we as IFSA are representing youth in the forest policy field, and we actually believe that youth is an important stakeholder here. And we don't think that this youth space is a very limited resource, but rather the more we are here, the stronger we are. And that's why we want to bring as many youth here as we can, as well as, of course, for their own good. Because forest policy is actually relevant to everyone in the forest field. It's not just the people who are going to end up working in the forest policy, but people who are going to be practitioners and working in offices and everything. This forest policy is going to give you guidelines on what you can and cannot do and what you must and mustn't do. It's going to be there in the background somehow. And we are going to learn more about this also during our sessions today. If you don't believe me yet, hear it from the people who are already there. I have been personally in this forest policy field maybe since 2019 when I organized my first delegation to the climate COP. It was an IFSA delegation, and since then I have been also in IFSA working somehow in youth representation in the policy field for these 3 years. My road has not maybe been in the forest policy hasn't been the most regular one because I didn't have any formal courses on forest policy until just 4 months ago. So I've been learning through practice, and it's been, of course, a bit weird and noticing that it's a very complex field and like just getting thrown in. But slowly, also through the organizing of this conference, I have been seeing a lot of different perspectives, and realizing that the field looks very different depending whether you look it from a student perspective, a conference delegate perspective, a scientist perspective, a practitioner's perspective, etc., etc. But slowly, by learning these different perspectives, it brings more clarity and it brings together what this actually is. But why is this relevant to you? Because I have been here for 3 years and I'm still learning. But with this event, we are trying to bring to you in one day all of these different perspectives, so you don't need to go through this for 3 years to get the same clarity that it has taken me to learn. So welcome to the YFPD Conference Day, where we are going to focus on learning about the field of international forest policy and how you as youth can get involved in it. Thank you from my side, and now I'm going to hand this to Thomas Hausmann.
So, good morning also from my side, and welcome to the conference day of this Youth Forest Policy Days. It's great to have all of you online from all over the world. And first of all, I would like to say a few words of thanks as in my position as head of the liaison unit Bonn of Forest Europe. Thanks to IFSA, to Alina and all the colleagues. You are an important partner of Forest Europe, and together with Silvia, with Juliette and Vera from my team, you have done so far a great job organizing this important event. I participated yesterday, as hopefully most of you, at the first day, the workshop day. And I think it is really important and great to listen to Salina Abraham, the previous IFSA president, to listen to many experts which share their skills, and also to learn the experience of so many interesting personalities in the living library. And also for me, it's a lifelong learning as a senior policy advisor. I think it's important to learn those skills. For example, how to negotiate a position you would like to bring in, because you are the future decision-making generation. And here I would really like to invite you to get active, to get involved, because all the topics which also Alina mentioned are relevant for our future. And Forest Europe is really willing to get you, the young generation, involved. You will listen later on to Erika. She was a panelist at our high-level policy dialogue a few weeks ago, did a great job there. And but it's more than just offering a panel seat. So from our side, we are also ready to get the young generation, IFSA and other organizations from young foresters also involved in the decision-making process. For example, preparing the 9th Ministerial Conference, which we are going to organize in October 24. So this is an open invitation to you. Maybe you are also interested to learn a little bit more about Forest Europe. It's an informal process for more than 30 years of ministers responsible for forestry from 45 countries all over Europe. So from Ukraine, Turkey to Portugal and to Iceland. And together with nearly 50 international organizations, we are trying to promote the concept of sustainable forest management. And I believe these are really key questions. So the question, how should we also in future manage our forest in a sustainable way? How to balance the economical and the ecological and the social aspects of forestry. And here in an informal process, we like to further develop this concept of sustainable forest management. This is our key work, and you will listen later on to Bernhard Wolfslehner. I would like to invite you to select his session more about this concept of sustainable forest management. We are also tackling the question how to get forest better adapted to the climate change challenges. Here we try in a kind of a mechanism, forest risk mechanism, to bring together existing initiatives and to try to condense all the information which are already out there for policymakers in, for example, policy briefs and other valuable tools and instruments. And another point, and this is nearly my last point, is dealing about the green jobs and the forest education. And here, I think we are back to this today's meeting, which are very relevant. And the last point, which might also be interesting for you, I don't know if there are colleagues, forest students from the Ukraine online today. We have also launched a support program for rebuilding the Ukrainian forest sector during and after the war. If you're interested in more details, please contact Forest Europe, the liaison unit. You will find us also online. And with this, I would like to hand over back to the organizers. Thank you for your attention.